trying to get my sound right. Hola, everybody. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. This is Big Rob. Live from my house in my loft. I saw a couple of you saying, Sunday stream. Yeah, this isn't our normal setup. This isn't the typical in studio. You just got Big Rob today. And you know what? There's pretty much zero structure on this show. And for that reason, you get a lot of ranting and rambling because there's no direction here. But what we are going to get is some good, meaningful conversations, some good dialogue going on, some good thought processes. We're going to discuss where we are in our personal lives as far as, hey, are we feeling fulfilled? And are we happy in the direction we're going? What areas of our lives can we improve upon? And hey, I want to make more money in crypto. What do I got to do that? I ain't got enough money in crypto. Do you have enough money in crypto? I'm curious. And then I got a couple crypto articles to talk about as well. So they're going to get into that. This is more of a Q&A session as well. So if you got some questions for Big Rob, there's something you want to know, even in my personal life, or want to know more about David that he hasn't told you about, or perhaps Rocco, which I see in the chat, feel free to ask. Be glad to give you the inside scoop. And also, just big shout out to all of you for being here on a Sunday. We also, in case you didn't know, go down on the music. Play a little more music than we typically do on these things. Actually, let's play a lot of music. I like Sundays. I like music. I love hanging out. I love chill vibes. That's what we do. And I love the fact that Bitcoin has been at 27,000 for so damn long. When are you gonna move? You know? How long is Bitcoin gonna be at 27,000? It's been a while, man. It's been like too long. Way too long. All right. Well, without further ado, let me say what's up to my peoples up in the chat. If you are new here, say hello so I can drop an hola back at you. Going down the list, let's see here. We got Brian Mavor, who is first in the chat. Crypto Brat, In and Out Crypto. Patrice M, Juan Luis, Super Smoke, Aru, Dan, Mangusan, Dixie Flatline, Redman, Steven, Wise Tree, Crypto Hands, Michael Stango, Armand, Lazarus, my boy Destroyer, Chili Rainbow, Rick Wilson, Paulukin, Sandeep, Armzilla, Rick Wilson, Crypto Brat, Jonathan Morrison, or Morris, Misco, to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. In case y'all didn't know, I know most of y'all do know, but for the ones that don't, Sunday's my favorite day. You already know where I'm going at with this, guys. Evaluate what we did this week. Let's take a pause. Since the last time we were watching Big Rob here on this show, last Sunday, let's just think. The last time we were watching the show, so today, what did you get done last week? I want to know. Throw it in the chat. Give me one thing that you accomplished this week that, whether it be small, whether it's something you're really proud of, maybe something unique, maybe you went somewhere cool. Let's reflect on the week. Let's think about it. What did we do this week? I'm gonna put mine in here. Had a very good meeting with high profile YouTuber. Lots of alpha. So that's what I did. And kind of interesting is that with me, I got a meeting with a very high profile YouTube content creator. And not the first time I've talked to this person, but lots and lots of information that could help us out. And And for me, well, hey, that's cool, right? I'm reflecting on it, but at the same time, I'm thinking about like, what did I do to get there, right? How many messages did I send out? How much of my time and energy did I put in to make sure that meeting happened? And it was days like today on my Sunday when I'm kind of planning out my week, where I'm game planning things I want to get done. And so if I want to have that meeting, I gotta say, okay, hey, I need to contact these people, or if I don't have any contacts, I need to figure out who the hell to contact, right? And so for me, Sunday's a good day for evaluating, hey, what was I trying to get done? What did I get done? And hey, what worked and what didn't, essentially. All right, so kind of going over some of the community, and as I mentioned, feel free to share, in the chat, say what's up. I want to get some coffee here still. Most importantly, though, I want to know, how do you guys drink your coffee? Do you just not drink coffee at all? Or do you drink coffee with cream, half and half, milk, no cream, straight black? Do you like sugar? Do you like Splenda? Or are you one of those weirdos? I've seen that people like to put butter in their coffee. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently that's like a thing. Like, that's like real. And maybe I'm like late to the party. Maybe all of y'all are like, duh. But this is very yeah, man. Like, if you Google this thing, you can see here there's just no shortage. And so there's just all of these. Yeah, that's like a thing, man. Very trendy. Butter in a coffee. Let me see if I can. This is with the. Why are people putting butter in their coffee? Yeah, it's a new thing now, I guess. Which, if you get like raw milk, I'll say, if you get raw milk, you'll see that there's all the solids in the raw milk if it's not filtered, and so looks like butter when you put it in coffee. Well, very interesting. All right, so getting into the chat here. Let me pull up the. All right, there we go. So Lazarus has been fighting a cold. Well, that sucks, man. Every time I get a cold, I always try to get things done at home, because I know, okay, so I know I got a cold. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to be hanging out on my couch. I'm going to have the phone and computer, watching TV. So I try to optimize my sick time and get things done. That would be like a good time for me to do like graphic and video editing. Maybe like redo our intro, which I am doing for the show. I'm putting that thing back together. So new intro coming. It's going to be the same song, just updating the visuals. And then Armzilla bought some XRP. $1,000. Okay. I like it. Bullish. And then we got work. Let's see here. We bought a house. Dang. Congratulations. I bought a super smoke. Bought a house. All right, and then we got planted a tree in memory of his father-in-law. Very touching. Yeah, man, that's always. I know a lot of people put ashes by the roots of the tree as well. I'm curious if that was something you did, or if you just planted one out of respect. It's always nice. I got my fig tree is getting a lot of figs right now, so. Every couple days I go out there and pick off a handful of figs. Super good. And then let's see what else we got. Greg golfed every day. Okay. Nice. I tried to pick up golf and it didn't work out too well for me, honestly. And then Jonathan's giving a big shout out to him as well. Learn how to margin trade on KuCoin. And we will talk some crypto here, I promise. Just hang tight. This is in case if you're new here, we do a lot of Q&A. So this is more Big Rob giving back to the community. We're not really giving back, but I just want to see what the people that watch our show are doing. I want to have more of that one-on-one conversation and kind of share a little bit more about myself. So I love learning more about you guys as well. Rusty Bot was cutting down trees. And yeah, and I hear Larry. I got a bird named Larry, in case y'all didn't know, and he's in his room, and so now he's got his head under the door. I can hear him, and he's like cheeping under the door. He's like, I know you can hear me. All right, he ate dinner, and then let's get some music as well going here. All right, and then we got half a Bitcoin, Steven, my man. All right, stacking them stats. All right, and then we got Desert Crypto about to sell his house. Okay, did you sell your house to who bought a house? I'm just curious. All right, and then Stay Away Sandwich says raw milk isn't cooked. You know they pasteurize milk, and even you can get like at certain stores. You got to go out and look for it. You can get it has to be pasteurized via. And by the way, guys, I'm also a lifetime chef. I haven't recently, obviously, with the whole show, but culinary arts degree, associate's degree, in culinary arts, and yeah, so I know a lot about food. In case you're wondering, that's most of my expertise prior to crypto. But yeah, the law says you have to pasteurize milk, so it's illegal to sell unpasteurized milk, even at like farmers markets. So, but now that doesn't stop you from getting a cow or just, getting milk. But anyways, yeah, pasteurized milk. Anyways, we got, he said, Naznaz said, do a segment to bring one live user once a week on the show. I actually think we don't really even try to do that, but we actually almost accomplished that anyways, because our studio's in Las Vegas. So, if you take the 500 people that watch our show every day, or 1,000, usually we get about 1,000 views on our show, but we can say modestly, maybe people aren't really community members. And so I'd say probably 500 like solid people that watch every day. And so these people out of the 500, they make a trip out to Vegas once a week, or once a year, or once every 2 years. And in doing so, we get people to stop by the studio and watch the show live. We had 3 people watching the show live last week. We had Destroyer and some other people. I don't know if they wanted their names out there or not. And then what else we got? AGQD said hello, just subbed. Okay, well, welcome to the center community. Guys, why don't we give AGQD a Sin City hello? And he probably doesn't know what that means because he put hello in there, but let's let him know what's up. Let's drop an hola in the chat. Let's get the hola trains going. Let's get the party going. And then yeah, all right, so and then we're gonna play a little bit, and we're gonna talk some crypto here. I know that's what y'all came here for. Well, I'm sure half of y'all probably came here for crypto talk, and we'll get into that here in a moment. And let's go. All right, so we got Bitcoin coming in at 27,200. So as I said when we came in, like, when the hell is this thing gonna come off of this range, man? Been here for a while, a long while, and you can see we've been. I really need to get in. I need to start using TradingView, but it's been 27,000 since. Was it March? Yeah, so since March, it's been 3 months, man. Obviously this was towards the tail end of March that we got into 27,000, but that is some crazy consolidation. I mean, when you take into the account that the S&P 500 has been moving, as the Dow Jones is up 2%, or the futures is up. Oh no, this is the close. Let's see if I can pull up the futures. Pre-market. You know what? I haven't used this in a while. All right, but anyways, if you take a look at like the NASDAQ, for example, or any of the big index funds, last 3 months. So this is the last 3 months here. And so as we mentioned here, so in the last 3 months, we came into 27,000, and this was literally March 22nd. So March 22nd, we got 27,300. Now we're at 27,200. Almost 3 months later, 2 months and a couple weeks. And if you look at the NASDAQ, which Bitcoin and the NASDAQ usually follow one another, and you can see that there's been a lot of gains here in the NASDAQ. And, a lot of it's come from the AI push. I think it's only a matter of time that Bitcoin pops off and goes and finds correlation with the stock market. And this is just, I think, traders suppressing the prices. So long and short positions being put in on Bitcoin to suppress the price movement. Because here's the thing: if you put in a couple longs, for example, it's long and short. So let's just say there's a handful of whales and they have long positions on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin moves from say 27 to 28,000, which if you look at the Bitcoin price, we have been at 28,000. This was last week. We were over 30,000 back in April. And if whales are putting in long positions, then if they are in the profit, so if they have a 2 or 3x long and on Bitcoin and they entered in at say 27 or 26.5 or something like that, that move essentially is you're talking about like 10% moves on Bitcoin if you have an entry at 26 and it gets up to 28. And so a 10% move with a 2 or 3x, I mean, you're up 20 and 30%. And so whales, they have a lot of whales. I don't want to say all of them, but a majority of whales mitigate risk, and they're still taking risk by, taking long and short positions, but they're not going out there and betting the house. Otherwise they probably wouldn't last long. And for that reason, they're going to take profits at certain price levels, and which basically they're going to be selling. And that selling pressure is going to be 2 to 3 times what it normally would for a spot market. And so if I buy at 26 with 3x leverage and it gets up to 28, and when I go to sell, hey, I'm up what would normally be up 10%, but now with the 3x leverage, I'm up 30% because it's a 3x. When I sell, it's 3 times the position on the order books as it was if it was just a spot market. So let's just say I bought 1 Bitcoin worth at 26. So I bought 26,000. If I were to do 3x leverage and exit at 28, then on the order books, the sell pressure is going to be not 26,000, it's going to be 80,000, because you're going to be taking the 28 times 3. And so that's why you have to break. That's why you get these giant run-ups, and the shorts kind of work similarly as well. It also works in the opposite direction as well. So as you start going up and you start liquidating people, you're also doing the same thing. So let's just say you go from 26 to 28 pretty quickly, and somebody had a short position and their liquidation point was 28,000. And then now they're also selling that person's Bitcoin, or that account's Bitcoin at that point. Now, it's not a 2 or 3x in the same way that you get off of the longs or when you're closing your position, but it is still a liquidation point, a forced selling on top of that. So you couple the longs and the shorts. So where I'm getting at is that this has been correlated. NASDAQ, Bitcoin has been correlated, at least in the last 7-8 years, to some degree. Now, there's been bigger swings in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has outperformed the index funds and NASDAQ. However, they generally move in tandem. They move together. And we're seeing that back in May, you had a pretty big rally in the index funds, particularly NASDAQ, where, you had a well over 10% pop off here. And if you look at where we were at from March, you're talking almost a 20%, and we haven't seen that. So in that same time frame, so from March 21st to March 21st, we've seen a 20% 20% gains on the NASDAQ, and yet we're exactly sideways on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin over that exact same time period, flat, sideways. NASDAQ up 20%. And so Bitcoin typically outperforms the NASDAQ. So I would expect 40%, right? And that's how historically it's been. If over a certain time period, NASDAQ goes up 50%, Bitcoin's up like 300, right? That's just kind of how it's been in the ratio. And so with the NASDAQ being up and index funds being, it's not even just the NASDAQ, it's index funds across the board. SP 500, pretty similar, not quite as big a gains. But yeah, I mean, look at that, and so, yeah, they're up about 15% here. Almost, 20% as well. No, it's less. Yeah, it's a less of a swing here. NASDAQ's up more, but no, it's about 5% from here, and then 10% from the lows in March 9th. But I'm expecting some big movement in Bitcoin, and all we need is some kind of news catalyst to break us out of there, right? I mean, that's what it is. Either that or just the traders just get bored. They're like, you know what? Let's get this market going. As Bitcoin does not like to trade sideways for too long, and the longer it does, it's like that slingshot, man. It keeps pulling back, and we got a couple people saying, bring on the parrot. You guys don't want the parrot up in here, man. That guy, he'll just start cheeping right in the microphone's ear. Do y'all hear the bird in the background? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all hear Larry in the background. So I thought I had adjusted my microphone so that way you don't hear him. And what else do we got? Okay, so we got a lot of Olas. You guys have said what's up to the chat. And then, or who was the new guy again? It was Ogdi or something like that. So welcome. All right, so if you're new here, also say hello so we can drop an Ola back at you. And Rusty Boss says he doesn't hear him. Okay, good. Yeah, I adjusted my microphone, put some like little filters so that way you wouldn't hear the bird in the background. All right, so if you're new, say hello. We got Benjamin Coase, Ray Run. I'm trying to find the new people here. Ralphie as well. Stay away from my sandwich. I like it. Stick. Timmy's back in here. I haven't seen him in a little while. At least not on the live show. Rick Wilson. All right. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. All right. So getting back into some of the crypto market movers. Terra Luna Classic's up. I tried to see if there was something that caused this rally. I don't know. I think this is just a lack of volume. And then you got some people over here trying to influence price. So wouldn't put much into it. But Solana is up 4%. Mutable X up 4%. Aptos up 4%. Render up as well. XRP in the chart as well here up 3%. XRP at 53 cents. it was at 48 cents a little over a week ago. This is up 12% on the week, and you can see this price movement. Here we go. Yeah, so it was down to 47 cents a week ago, and so on the month 42 cents. I think a lot of people are just expecting the XRP lawsuit to, you know, pop off. I mean, to finish, come to a resolution, and for this XRP token to get relisted, liquidity just to get gobbled up, order books to get slammed. And yeah, Misco puts a 1 in the chat. You hear, Larry? All right, and then taking another look here over the biggest losers as well. We got Pepe down 4%, down 15% on the week. This thing is falling fast. To take a look at the Pepe chart, you can see that it is just losing steam. What I want you guys to pay attention to down here is this volume. So coming in, you can't, I know it's probably hard to see this volume here in this view. Let me see here if this can show the volume down there. Yeah, oh, you can see the volume candles there at the bottom. And so let's get this on the 1 day. All right, so you see the volume candles down here at the bottom? And then I'll just go full desktop here so you guys can see. And yeah, this is losing volume here. And so each of these candles represent how much trading is going on. And you can see that this is just tapering off. Every day is less and less trade volume. And even at this point, I think it's the lowest it's been, you know, essentially since it first started to rally. And so this is what I think. I had one position in a meme coin, and I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm not trying to expose community meme coins. They're kind of fun just to throw some money at. I don't believe in them in the market at all. But I don't know, throw a couple $100 at something. But anyways, I just exited my position, and for me, the meme coin phase is over. Let that sink in, guys. Big Rob is here to tell you that it's over, at least till the next bull market. That's it. That's it. It's over. It's done. And so until 2024, you will not make money on meme coins. You might make a little flip here. You might be able to make some money trading meme coins. Big Rob is here to tell you the meme coins are dead. 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 They're dead. Meme coins are dead. The volume is gone. That's what the problem is. I've seen none but meme coin after meme coin after meme coin launch. The most they can sustain is 3 days, maybe 4 or 5, but they're dead. Meme coins are dead. I'm sorry. Now, and here's the problem. If you find a meme coin, by the time you find it, it's only got 2 days, maybe. So at that point, it's already rallied. The only people making money off of meme coins are the people that are launching them and the early token holders. Even then, they're taking a massive risk. They might launch the token, it just catches no steam, and then they're all trying to pull liquidity from one another. It's like this. Just imagine going into business with somebody, and you open the doors, and nobody shows up, and then there's no binding contracts, and you can just take your initial investment and run. And so imagine if you had a business and you have like 12 owners, and you're all there, and you open up your coffee shop or something, you're like, yeah, you're like, this is gonna be great, we're all gonna make money. And then nobody shows up. And then after about 2 days, all the owners are looking at each other like, you're not gonna pull your money out, are you? Like, no, not me. And then the other business owners like, no. I don't know. I believe in this coffee shop long term. Then day 3 and 4 come by and still nobody showed up, and they're like, And then 2, 3, 4 of these owners leave, right? And all of a sudden, like, coffee shop isn't worth as much. And you're like, nobody else is gonna leave, right? And then like there's a handful of people like, this is gonna be the best coffee shop ever. It's gonna change the world. And well, it doesn't. And one by one they all leave. That's what happens when meme coins don't catch traction. And even when they do catch traction, the pumps are short-lived. And in doing so, they are just using the average investor as exit liquidity. And so these tokens are essentially just a marketing ploy. They're just trying to get in front of the retail audience to get them to come in, so that way they can 10x or 100x out at the expense of retail. And so they're just trying to put a compelling token out there just to grab your attention for a very short amount of time. So but that's gone, man. I mean, am I the only one that sees this? On the meme coin kind of subject, here was an interesting one here, and on also the XRP kind of situation. John Deaton alerted his daughter. So if you follow John Deaton, first of all, he is an attorney that he's been like the media voice when it comes to the court case. He's a lawyer, so he's giving a synopsis of what's going on, a lot of the breaking news that comes out of the court case. He explains it. Anyways, very high profile XRP attorney, John Deaton, his account got hacked. And the hackers, again, not that this is funny, but the hacker's account was promoting Law Token, which is a meme token, nothing to do with him. And his daughter was going on to Twitter saying, hey, my dad's account got hacked. I saw some content creators out here saying, hey, be careful. John Deaton's account is hacked. That's not his. Don't click on any links. And so pretty interesting there. All right. So back to the chat here, because this is what we do here on Sundays. If you guys have any questions or thoughts here, Nas said he has to bounce, so take care, brother. And then Big Dogs Crypto says this is good for the long game, and that consolidation. I think that's what we're talking about here. So the 3-month consolidation on Bitcoin, where we've been just at this 27,000, it is good for the long game. It really is. Now, Desert Crypto said, what's your thought, your opinion on starting a new crypto YouTube? I'll say this. It's probably the best time to get in. I would say do it right now. If you want to start a crypto channel, like do it like right now, like tomorrow. Just start uploading videos. Nobody's going to watch it anyway, so just start getting some videos out there. If you guys want a little insight into doing YouTube, this is what, and we've had a lot of conversations. I would say probably at least a dozen conversations with YouTubers, 6, and I would say over half of them. And I'm in an opportunity being in Vegas where I have a connection to certain media personalities. And so I get an opportunity to talk to a lot of YouTubers, just put it that way. And the same thing is said across all platforms. It's not just crypto. It's that you need to build your brand. And so if you want to start a new YouTube channel, whether it's in crypto or in cars or whatever, whatever the segment you want to do, it is probably a 2 to 5 year game before you see any realistic returns that could be self-sustaining. And even then, if you do not provide a product that is unique and engaging, you're gonna waste 2 to 5 years before you realize that might not be for you, and maybe you need to move sideways. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to set you up for the realization you got to think about things realistically. And so going into business, You know, like here's the thing. Like if I decided to start a winery, right? Like I bought some land in say Sonoma or something like that out in California. I want to start a winery. You know, it takes about 6 to 7 years for grapevines to become mature enough to make wine, to make wine. So if you're to buy a winery, if I bought land and I was going to build a winery, well, I know that I'm not going to sell a single bottle of wine because it takes 6 to 7 years for the grapes to mature. And then after that, the wine has got to age for at least 2 years. It ferments for 6 months and it's got to sit in barrel for about a year and then in bottle for 6 months. So you got about 2 years. And so you should probably not expect to even sell a single bottle of wine for 9 years. But this is something you need to think about when you're starting a winery. You need to say, hey, if I'm going to start a winery, I know that I'm not going to generate $1 in revenue for 9 to 10 years. And so the entire time you need to pay for the staff. So for the next 9 to 10 years, you need to pay for all the vineyard hands and the winemakers and, you know, building out the brand and, you know, the bottles and cork and distribution. You need to account for all that. YouTube is no different. And a lot of people think that YouTube is oh, hey, I just turn a camera on and I can record. If you want to have success, you have to treat it as though it is a business in the same regards to opening up a winery, a coffee shop, a plumber. You know, you're going to do AC or plumbing. And you need to account for what is a typical or what is typical growth in this area. And so when it comes to YouTube, just be prepared you have to make videos every day, or you need to be working on content every day. And if you're not posting a video every day, you need to at least record one once a week, for example, and then be video editing every day and adding to it every day and trying to make that video as good as possible. So when it comes out, because it's either quality or quantity, right? You come out with one video a week, or you come out with seven videos a week. And if you do one video a week, you need to spend the 7 days making sure the thing's good. But just know that you need to probably spend 2 to 5 years just doing it every day without making any money. And you got to do it. You got to grind. You got to do it. You got to you can't slack, right? And so, yeah. So that's my advice. And you know, the best time to do it, because you're not going to have any viewers, is in the middle of a bear market. It would have been better to do it at the beginning of the bear market or last market. But hey, it's better to do it now than it is at the height of the market. Because you try to do it at the height of the market, you're going to get if you try to do it next year when the markets are rallying, it's not going to work, because by the time you start getting viewers, the next run up will be kind of gone, right? All right. So, all right. Let's get back into some other questions here. We got, what about USTC repeg? What is USTC? Oh, the Terra Luna Classic stablecoin. Repeg. It's at 1 cent. I ain't repegging. I think maybe you're trying to be funny. I don't know. All right. So lots thoughts on Litecoin. Can we pull up a chart? I'm no TA guy. I've been dabbling in TA a little bit, but let's take a look at what the price movement. And I think that Litecoin is kind of followed the rest of the market. It's been underperforming Bitcoin in the last 2 years. And so Litecoin was a top 5 coin and it just keeps slipping. Now it's not even a top 10. My personal opinion, I think this is going to keep slipping. So for me, what is a safer bet, right? Bitcoin or a Litecoin? And Bitcoin has been outperforming Litecoin for quite some time. And I don't know the exact numbers. Here, actually, I can pull it up this way. Let's take a look at the trading pairs for... How do you pull up versus Bitcoin. I forget. Let's go all time. And then we'll change it. Anyways, I don't know where it's at. So here's the prices. Oh, I don't have the chart pulled up. Sorry, guys. So with Litecoin, it just hasn't performed as well as Bitcoin. And so for me, that's that. If you're gonna be an alt and you're taking on more risk, with an alt than Bitcoin, right? And even though you can say that Litecoin doesn't really have much risk at all, you know, comparatively speaking to all the other alts, Bitcoin is still the truth and, you know, the best one to go with. But compared to Bitcoin, like why go with Litecoin? Now you want to put in a trade position, that's one thing, but why go with Litecoin long term if Bitcoin outperforms it? And I think that trend is going to continue. So for me, I'm going to get better returns out of Bitcoin. Why even mess with Litecoin? That's my personal opinion. Trade setups, there's a little bit more volatility on Litecoin, so you could probably make more money swing trading that, especially with the halving coming around. So I think there's opportunities there to put open and close positions there. But as far as DCAing projects I believe in, I'm just gonna stick with Bitcoin. And then we got the Lifer has dropped a $20 super chat. My boy. Oh man, I love Lifer, man. One of my true friends. So big shout out to you. Let's get the dropping a super chat up in here. My man. Yeah. Thanks. Much love, brother. All right. So what are your guys' thoughts on Litecoin? Let me know. Put a one in the chat if you're a fan of Litecoin. One fan of and then put a 2 in the chat. Not a fan. I don't know where you guys land on this. And then let's get some music here. And then we got Destroyer says, if XRP loses the lawsuit, I think Litecoin could pump hard. You know, I actually think the opposite. I think that if there's a lawsuit, I think all crypto, if the lawsuit goes down, because what does that mean, right? If XRP or Ripple Labs if they lose and it's just a straight up in favor of the SEC, it creates so much uncertainty, and nothing at that point, nothing is gonna stop. Nothing will stop the SEC from doing that again, right? And so anybody could be in the crosshairs. That's the scary part, is that compared to these other altcoins, Ripple Labs and XRP is pretty well established, right? You know, they do hold a lot of the tokens. They did have an ICO, but there would be a list, probably 50 to 100 projects long, and a lot of them in the top 100 that at any point could be sued. And so I think the entire market would sell off. I don't think it'd be permanent, but I think it would, until there's some regulatory clarity from Congress. I think everything, even Bitcoin. Remember, the US is the largest financial market. The largest economy financially is the US. And if you remove their investment from top to bottom in crypto outside of Bitcoin, that's not good for the space. And we're already seeing the flight of money from the accounts here. So, all right. And then what else we got? All right. And then we have, speaking of regulation, we had U.S. senators express concerns over El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption. And so we had a couple of lawmakers, U.S. Senators Jim Risch and Bob Mendez, and they're trying to reintroduce a bipartisan bill requesting the State Department report on El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption. And this was one quote from them. Given the U.S. interest on prosperity and transparency in Central America, we must seek greater clarity on how the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender may impact El Salvador's financial and economic stability, as well as El Salvador's capacity to effectively combat money laundering. Kind of interesting here, right? Once again, we brought up this money laundering thing. Why does the U.S. care about money laundering in a tiny country of El Salvador? And I get it. If you find a loophole in one country, then they'll circumvent all the other countries that are plugged into, the fiat system. But the thing that makes no sense to me is that Bitcoin is transparent. These transactions are easily trackable and traceable. And this whole money laundering thing just makes no sense to me, man. It really does. It does not make any sense to me. And then Road Dog says, wait till LRC20 tokens come out on Litecoin. I don't know much about LRC20 tokens. I'm going to do some research, though. Yeah, that does sound interesting. Oh, we did see that ordinals popped off on Bitcoin. And Litecoin has a pretty good track record as far as security and stability and, not having any hacks or any issues. So maybe we'll see, because Litecoin is a lot faster and cheaper, not to the level of a lot of these other newer small level layer ones, but maybe we'll see something like that. All right. And then lastly, before I get into some kind of questions and deeper thought here, I do want to cover something kind of that I'm excited about, and that is Apple. And they have been rumored, and now it's expected now at this point. No longer, it's one of the worst kept secrets out there. Apple's set to launch mixed reality headset, and we've seen that Meta has created one already with the Oculus, whichever one their newest one is. So they have a mixed reality and VR as well. And so they're gonna kick off their push to the metaverse. And so, we've seen some iOS games that are been released recently as well. So, I'm excited. I'm just to see what pops off. Remember, last bull market, we went metaverse and then meme coins were the trend, and now I've been saying I think that we're going to see a reverse trend this bear market running into the next bull market, where now we saw meme coins pop off. They're losing interest. I think that the metaverse is going to start to rally again. And then after that, maybe we go back into NFTs and then DeFi on the same way that we went into the 2021 bull market. So, and so, I forgot to ask you guys. I know I asked you guys. I forgot to see how you guys liked your coffee. I remember I just saw this. Okay. So we Crypto Brat likes milk and Splenda. Brian likes white coffee and bikinis. Okay. Interesting. Sugar and coffee and cream. And then Crypto Hands likes here, I'll put these up here. I forgot to look at this earlier. And so Ralphie likes milk and sugar and a spoon of Nescafe as well. So I am out of coffee, unfortunately. So I do French press. French press is the jam, by the way. And then Rocco says he misses coffee called Marocchino. The one thing you guys didn't know is that Rocco eats his coffee with a spoon. Yes. You can ask David about that as well. All right. So I wanted to get into, if you guys are new here, I do like to discuss, I try to spark motivation, and the reason I even get into this, and today I think what I'm going to do is just kind of share maybe some of the difficulties I've had in my life and things that I've done that has helped me and feeling better about myself and being a better person, a better friend. And I am far from perfect, but a couple things that have worked for me. And I'll just kind of go down and kind of tell you where I came from and some of my shortfalls and what I've embraced that has helped me get through tough times. And now I've had a lot of success. I make a lot more money. And when the viewer, when you are looking to make money in crypto, if your life is in shambles, your bank account is in the dumps, and you're trying to make money off of crypto, it's gonna be the same. You know, if you're down on your luck and you just are mismanaging and you have no response, you know what I mean? Like you're not holding yourself accountable financially, it's gonna translate over into crypto. And so if you can't manage your money and you're reckless with your spending and you're wasting money frivolously in the regular real world, you're not all of a sudden going to be savvy and responsible and in crypto. You might get lucky, you might throw $1,000 into something and, you know, whatever. But outside of a handful of situations with a handful of people, you're going to have a hard time having success if your personal life is kind of in shambles. And so what I've learned is that the more I tidy up my life personally, the more my finances have come in line, right? And for me, it started, well, I would say that I was trying to like please people, and I was trying to like, be like the friend, and I wanted to, be the guy to hang out with and the guy to go out and drink with. So very social, and I didn't like that person. Not that I don't like hanging out with people and having a good time, but it was my focus, and I didn't focus on myself. So I focused on trying to impress people and trying to show people how cool I am. And all the meanwhile, I was just falling apart on the inside. And, one thing that the first thing I changed was being honest, right? And you can imagine if you're trying to impress people and put on a face or front for somebody you're not, then that you're trying to be somebody you're not, you're lying, right? That's what you're doing. You're lying. You're not being honest. And I realized that I was not being honest in a lot of parts of I wasn't being honest with myself, with my expectations, wasn't being honest with people at work, wasn't being honest with the job. I'd say I was going to do this, and next thing you know, I come in hungover. And so if I'm saying that, hey, I'm going to perform and do this, execute, and I come in hungover, a little sleep, tired, I've already lied to my employer, right? It might not have been my intention when I set out my goals, but when I sat down and I took that job and I said, hey, I'm going to turn this around, I'm going to do this, this, and this. If I come in at 40% of myself because I was just on a bender the night before and trying to impress people and out here chasing women or whatever and getting high, smoking weed or whatever, just not being responsible, then, I fell short at my responsibilities. And so I lied to myself because, hey, I took a job or I took many jobs, and I was telling myself like, yeah, I'm going to take this job, and then maybe I'll be executive chef soon. And then, I can move up and do this. And So who was the first person I lied to? It was myself, right? Because I had grand vision and ended up messing that up at the cost of what? Just trying to impress people. And then I realized that the funny thing was being honest about myself and really not caring what other people thought. I earned the respect from people that. So the goal, or my initial goal in my early mindset, was not being honest. Was that I wanted people's respect and I wanted them to like me and I wanted them to be like, wow, that's a cool guy. And I realized that just being honest and not really caring what other people thought and just being yourself, you achieve all of that. That's what really surprised me, right? I was like, wow, huh? And so that was the first thing I did, and then from there, so I started being honest. Then I stopped complaining because it's a lot of complainers out there, man. And I realized that shit is contagious, man. And you get a group of people, you throw one miserable person, all you could, I think I've used this analogy before. So you got 5 people hanging out in a room, they're all laughing, having a good time talking, right? They're like just blast. Let's just say one person comes in crying. What happens? Everybody stops laughing. Everybody stops telling jokes. They all go and they tend to the person. And I'm not saying this is wrong or by any means, but I'm just giving you an example. 5 people, super happy, having a blast. In comes a person, they're crying, they're having a bad day. Everybody stops laughing, and now they're all trying to console and coddle or whatever. What happens to that environment in the room? It's gone. So now the upbeat environment, the laugh, it's all gone because one person walked in. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but I'm just giving you it's contagious. It's like that. And then what happens when that person leaves? Do you think they just start laughing? And no, it takes a while. Like, you got to build that momentum back up. Like, you got to that person leaves and you're like, wow, man, it takes hours for that environment to get back to where it was. And so it's no different than when you're with the people you surround. So if the people that you work with, your family or your coworkers or your whoever it is, if they're just miserable and they're complaining, what do you think that's doing to the environment? What do you think it's doing to you? Or have a better question. If you're coming in and you're complaining, you're talking about how miserable your day is, what is that doing to yourself? And what is that doing to the others around you? And what is that doing to the environment? What does that do to people that and when you're complaining, what happens when somebody comes up to you and complains? You're like, oh man, you know what? I had a bad day too. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, man, this person cut me off and then I got stuck in traffic and all this. And then next thing you know, you're complaining. And then somebody just randomly walks up and now you got 2 people complaining. I'm complaining. This guy's complaining. And then somebody else walks up and like, what are y'all complaining about? Like, oh man, yeah, let me tell you what happened to me today. Like, man. So when I try to distance myself from these people, when I realized that is like a poison. One, I made a conscious decision to get the hell away from people that complain and just try my hardest not to be miserable and complain and just take for granted what I have. And then, what, if you find yourself complaining and you're truly not happy, it's not a product of the environment, to make a change. It's probably an indicator that you're doing something you don't really like or love. And I was talking to my daughter, and we were talking about school and whatever, and future. And I think she asked me well, why did I get into YouTube? And I told her, I'm like, it's something I enjoy doing, and it doesn't make me upset or miserable. And for me, I've found something that I would do for free, which is funny because I essentially do this for free. I'm not making any revenue, that any revenue I make goes into the operating costs of our studio. So, but I don't mind. I would do this for another 2 to 4 years because I'm doing something that I truly love, and it doesn't bother me. And I adamantly believe that if I keep at it and I bring in as many people that share that same passion as me into my circle, then it will be successful. It has to be. You know, maybe it's not a multi-million-dollar business, but in some way, shape, or form, I will make it happen to the point that I can survive off of it. And then that is what I want in life. That's what is fulfilling to me, is to master a trade, a skill, and do that every day and live a happy life just doing that. And so, you know, if you think about like what is the meaning of life or something deep, it's not money. Money makes things easier, sure, but it ain't money. You know, I've said it before. If I gave you $1 million, but the stipulation was you take this $1 million, you die tomorrow, you wouldn't take it. It's not worth it, right? So what's worth it is living and being happy and fulfilled. The money makes it easier, but so for me, it's exactly that, man. It's trying to build something in your life that you're proud of, and it's something that you enjoy doing, and you make a living off of it. And we all have that. The only thing is you got to kind of find it. You could be artistic and then be like, you know what? I can't make enough money doing oil paintings. Okay. But if you don't know any other way of expressing your artistic ways, you can start there. The next thing you know, you're messing around with charcoal, and then next thing you know, you're messing around with spray paint. And then next thing you know, you're doing a mural on the side of a building. The next thing you know, you're, you know, redesigning the interior of something because you did the outside and they liked that, your artistic style. And then maybe you find a whole different career that you express your artistic style that is outside of what you initially, you know, planned out. And where I'm saying is that just pursue what makes you happy in your life and just see if you can make money off of it. Yeah, man, you're super into athletics, go after it. It's a big industry. If you like helping people or teaching, you know, get into education. It's a very broad, you know, area. And then just try to make a living off of it, man. And I think that if you're just honest with yourself, if you're not worried about the setbacks, and you don't complain, and you try to distance yourself from the people that complain, and you just try to make as much money as you can doing what the hell you like doing, well, God bless, man. You'll be a happy person, man. That's it, man. That's it. And then when you achieve success doing those things, you look behind, you grab somebody else, and you try to bring them up with you. That's why I started this channel. Is because I found success financially, and I had so much setbacks with banks and trying to invest, and it's a shit show. And I was like, this is really amazing technology. This is like, I'm like looking at this and I'm like, oh my God, man. Like, everybody's gonna make so much money on this. Like, you just gotta have exposure early. And that's it. You just need to get exposure, get in early. And then on top of that, well, everything else is losing money, right? The US, dollars collapsing, global markets are collapsing, banks are collapsing. Like, you know, the checking account costs you $15. I'm still paying $15 a month for my checking account. Like, why the hell? How much does a MetaMask cost? I refuse to put my direct deposit in there. Well, I don't even have a direct deposit anymore, but I used to. Because I don't want my money going straight to the bank. Like, I want to physically have my money. Like, am I weird for that? Sure, I guess. Does it cost me $15 to do that? Yeah. And then I don't want a savings account because, well, you don't give me any yield. And because you don't give me any yield, I'd rather do something else with my money than to give it to a bank and have them lend it out and have it in a savings account. So because I don't have a savings account and I get charged $15 a month to use that thing. And then on top of that, if all of a sudden I'd spent way too much money one week versus the other, and I'm not going to keep tons of extra cash in there. I keep my extra cash in crypto. Every time I overdraft, or every time I go to zero, you charge me $15 or $30 now. It usually happens once every 2 months or so. So and when I was younger, I was penalized. I was crushed, man. And the financial markets got me over and over and over again because I could barely make ends meet. And so my checkbook was always near zero. And then they would tax me and they would hit me with these overdraft fees. And if you don't pay the overdraft fee within, like, if you don't get your account straightened out within like 3 days, they hit you with another one. And so I saw that and I got taken advantage of. I got profited off of. And so for me, I'm like, you know what? I want to get a microphone and I want a camera and I want to scream as loud as I possibly can to get the world to like pay attention, man. Like, this crypto thing is not just put money in it, make money. Like, it's giving people an opportunity to like finance themselves and not pay that fucking fee that set me back. And we got luxuries. At least we got the banks. Think about the billions, not millions, the billions of people that don't even have bank accounts. And here's an opportunity for them to at least operate in the financial sector. They can invest if they want to. They can set money aside. They can leave money for their kids. They can protect their money from being stolen. They can protect their money from government and inflation. And so if I can put a microphone on and I'm happy with the direction of my career choices, and I see the benefits of crypto, I want to scream to the top of my lungs to get as many people out there on my side. And I'd like to have an army of people that can have a conversation with a family or a loved one or a waitress or a Uber driver or someone and be like, when they come up to you and when they complain, and they say, man, I got hit with an overdraft fee. Hey, I don't know how I'm gonna make ends meet. Hey, you know, like, I don't, you know, it'd be a little easier if you used emerging technology in finance that doesn't pay the banks. Because for me, that $15, that $45, that $30 compounding, you know, that was my electric bill, man. And it's tough, man. But that's it, man. I just want to get the message out there. I just want to get the message out there. That's it. Thomas Sandwich says, no overdraft fee with Ally Bank no more. and there's less overdraft fees. That thing, it wasn't as bad when it was 2001 to 2010. That was when I was really at my biggest financial struggle. That's when the banks were full swing when it came to these fees, man. And they've slowed down. They've definitely rewound, but it's still there. Most of the major banks, but it's tough, man. But I'm happy to be sharing my day with you guys. Love the community, and we'll get into. So Doug says I'm 10 minutes behind, but the part about accountability and aligning yourself was great. So yeah, I do that a lot on this show on Sundays. Just, you know, I know a lot of people, they tune in and they're just like, I want to know what meme coin to buy. Like, I want to know how to make money. Like, but yet they have like $200 in their bank account. You got $200 in your bank account. You come in, looking at the YouTuber, you're like, hey man, what am I want to like 100x this thing, man. Like, what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? And then they're like, oh, this guy's talking about self-motivation and stuff. Like he's over here trying to tell me how to live my life. Like, I know what I'm doing. I want somebody to tell me where to put this $200 so I can retire. Like a lot of people they lose sight on the bigger picture. It's all one big circle, man. Oh, be nice to your dog and your cat and your bird if you have one. And then be happy with your day, and instead of thinking about all the things that pissed you off that day, think about all the things that happened that are good. That's what I try to do. When I am at work now, when I try to echo, instead of coming in and being like, oh, I got stuck in traffic and all this construction's out here and all this is happening, this, you know, I try to say like, oh man, you know, I had a freaking amazing cup of coffee today. I got this place, they just like mailed me new coffee from a different spot. This place from Brazil was amazing. And then I'm like, you know what? I got this meeting coming up this week. I'm really excited about it. This is the work I put in. Or hey, you know what? I'm tired of working this same job. So I started looking at some other professions, some things to do. So I started working on this little hobby at home, and maybe I'll launch this thing into something. I don't know, man. I really want to like think about it, you know? And so if you start embracing the things that you're excited about and things that you're happy about, and stop focusing on the things that are there, the traffic ain't going nowhere. Because you complained about the traffic and the construction doesn't mean that tomorrow is not gonna be traffic. So if it's already there, then what's the point wasting your energy talking about it? Right? It's like complaining about the rain. Like, it's raining out here. It's so damn hot. I'm like, it's gonna be hot tomorrow. It's gonna rain tomorrow. You can't stop it. Stop complaining about it. Stop wasting your energy. That's it. And just go after shit that makes you happy. I'll end with this. You don't have to even try very hard to be successful in this world. You want to know why? Because everybody's lazy. This world is lazy. People sit on their phones, their internet, they don't do shit. And the world does not work very efficiently. 40 hours is all somebody's going to work, maybe. And so even if you just work a little bit, if you try a little bit harder than your coworkers or people around you or other people in your industry, you're going to have so much success. Then you just imagine if your mindset, imagine if you really grind. But I'm just saying that because the world is complacent, because the mentality is that you need a union to protect you in case you're not working efficiently, and they'll keep your job, and or hey, there's all these places are hiring, and hey, you got all this job rights. It's it's just funny to me how you don't need to work very hard. have success because nobody else is working hard. It's the reality of it. We know. And when somebody works hard, they stand out. Like, they really stand out, right? Compared to how it used to be back in the day. I mean, I wasn't alive back 100 years ago, but I'm just saying that, like, everybody worked hard. So imagine if you went back in like the 1920s, you're like, man, I just worked 60 hours. Like, good for you. So did everybody else. Now you're like, I worked 60 hours. I worked 20 hours overtime and I'm like getting things done. And I got a side business. Like, bro, the amount of success you're going to have compared to competition is night and day. It's so, and in perspective, if you want something, go out and get it. And if you don't know what to do, just bust ass at what you're doing. That, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. If all of a sudden the job you've been working at for 2 years, you come in and you just start doing 30% more work, what do you think is going to happen 6 months later? Or say you start a new job, you just, like your coworkers are going to be mad at you. Like, why are you doing all this extra work, man? Well, what are you doing? Who are you trying to suck up to? Who are you trying to brown? You know what I mean? Like, people are going to be mad at you. Like, that's how crazy our society is. Like, the fact that if I go to work, and I've been there for 2 years, if I decide to go to work and bust ass, my coworkers will be mad at me. They're like, why are you working so hard, man? Boss is going to expect me to do the same thing. Like, and so society's lazy. And if you just go out there and have the right mindset, you work hard, you're going to outperform everybody and you'll get things done. So, all right. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. Unless you guys have something you want to add. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. So I got a bunch of things I want to get done today. I got a lot of things done this morning. Excited about. And put one thing before we leave, before we sign out, put one thing in the chat that you plan on doing this. Put one thing in the chat you plan on doing this week. One thing. Could be something small. Could be spending a little more time. Could be petting your dog a little bit more. Where is my dog? The dog's normally up here. But yeah, put in the chat what you guys plan on doing this week. One thing, and we're gonna check back in. I know we've done that before. And yeah. Why is my music not playing here? Oh, that's the wrong outro. Okay, I got you. That's the Sin City Crypto outro. Now I got here this one. I like this one. This is my outro for this week. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you on a Sunday. We got Ralphie says finishing his BTC research. Kevin B says DCAing. Dave Digital is gonna be screaming hola. Andre Brown will be loading up on the ADA DeFi system. I think that's a good play. I like it. And Daniel says, isn't that new shirt, brother? I haven't seen it in the store. I think it's up there. I'm not sure. In and Out Crypto. The link is in the description. If it's not there, maybe we'll bring it back. And then we got Crypto 420 says, keep learning. And yeah, that's Rocco there. In and Out Crypto is the handle. And then research 30 minutes daily BTC. So a lot of people trying to do research here. And so to all of you that joined us today, is thank you for listening to me rant and ramble. Hey, you know, it's a good release for me. I'll be honest with you. It's almost like going to therapy, because I can just say what's on my mind. And Crypto Hands likes Cody. That is a wallet / financial provider / stablecoin issuer on Cardano's ecosystem. Quarter Crawler says hello with the hand waving. Same thing with Trade with Bot. And are you subscribed to the channel as well? Make sure if you're not, you do that. And then got some. All right. You know, want to do some stuff in the backyard, but it's pretty hot. So I'm debating if I'm gonna do that. I don't know. Crypto Pump says, "Is Sin City yours?" Sin City Crypto. I'm one of the founders and part owner. There's 3 of us that own the place. Mike Play says he found all kinds of new stuff to BTC. I will see Destroyer tomorrow. He's in Las Vegas. I have an appointment with my buddy. See you tomorrow over there, Destroyer. In the morning. He said, what about the other guy with glasses? That is David, the co-host. And also co-founder, part owner. And we will be live in our studio next week. Starting tomorrow on Monday. Golden Giant says subscribed. What a great way to